everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued playthrough of the Stygian Society, a 1 to 4 player dungeon crawling game that's diceless, where we use this wonderful dice tower to toss cubes in there to take our actions and fight monsters. As we make our way up the tower, the same tower we're using for dropping the cubes, to go from room to room and defeat enemies, in an attempt to try and save the land from an evil wizard that is dominating the area from this tower. And there's some great elements to this game. I really dig it. I think that it's fun. I like the fact that it doesn't have I like the tower drop games. I've always liked them. There's been several of them that I've really enjoyed, where you're dropping cubes and stuff into a tower and seeing what comes out the other side. It creates that randomness like you would have with dice, but in such a different way. It feels unique and exceptionally different, which I enjoy. Anyway, we're going to get started with our next series of turns. Probably we'll get through this room, maybe get into the next room. That would be ideal. If you don't know the rules yet, please go back to my first video. I spent the first good section of that explaining the rules of the game, and that would be the first video on this playlist. And also maybe if I remember, and I'll link it back in the up in the corner up there so you can see it or something like that. I do have something I want to talk about from a rules perspective. I'm going to get into that right now. So right before we get started with the gameplay, I'm going to go to a little segment where we're going to talk about a rules goof perhaps, or maybe some interpretation that we have to look at. I think somebody posted something to me with a question about a card, and I think they're right. So I want to cover it. So we've had two instances in the game where creatures in the front rank are protecting creatures in the back rank. And I interpreted a certain way. Nobody corrected me on this, until recently. I think even one of the people from the company commented, didn't say anything about this, but that's okay. I'm still a little conflicted on it, because when I think about the difficulty of the game and how this would play out, depending on how you read it, man, I mean, the game's already tough enough. But let's take a look at this rider card. It says damage inflicted to the rider is reduced by 1 for every monster in the row in front of it. So I was interpreting that as the 1 in front of it, which means you reduce the damage by 1. But there was a point in like the previous one where we had these rats. There were 6 creatures in front of it. Not the riders, it was a different creature, but there were 6 in front of it. And when I played it the first time, I made this assumption and thought I had to eliminate all the front row creatures. I lost so badly, it was ridiculous, because you couldn't get enough damage done in a single hit, especially at the very beginning of the game, to overcome that. So, but I think this is interpreted correctly, that it would be like in the case of our marionettes, we had 3. I think it would have reduced the damage by 3 for each one of these riders, meaning that each rider needed 7 hits. Nope. Yes, okay. 7 hits. Yes, we reduce it by 3. 7 hits to kill one of these things. That seems excessive, because again, this game is really not that easy. It's a simple. I mean, simply mechanically, it's pretty straightforward. I like that about it. It's not an easy game. However, I do think that's wrong. I do think that I played that wrong, and I was only defending it with the 1 in front of it. I do think that it has to be all of them in the row. I will correct that going forward if we run into this scenario again, and I'll probably lose as a result, because really that is super tough. Think about it. I mean, we have a hard time just getting to 5 damage sometime. And I'm now 2 rooms in. So that was the very first room that we had one that we would have had to do. I think it wasn't. Their hit points were less, but there was more enemies in the front row. So I think they had 2 or 3, I can't remember, hits, but there was 5, like a whole army of them in the front. So anyway, I wanted to address that, and that is our discussion, our rules discussion. Now I'm going to get into the gameplay. All right, so here we are. We got the knight, the doctor, the burglar, and the spell sling. I haven't named them. You know, sometimes in my playthroughs I'll name the characters because I like role-playing and all that good stuff. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to get on. We haven't done that yet. We're not going to start doing it either. But we're going to get into our knight's turn, and I'm debating on what he wants to do. There's just these marionettes in front. And I'm really tempted at this point to use this ability, because we're about to kick over an experience, which means it'll come back. And it says, add an extra X number of cubes plus 2 blue cubes of your X number of 4 cubes of your choice, plus 2 blue cubes, to the tower during your action. At the end of your turn, that means a lot of cubes. At the end of your turn, if this floor has any enemies left on it, remove all blue cubes from the field and crypt and raise the peril 1 per cube removed from the field and 2 per removed from the crypt. So I have 3 blue cubes. I've really been tempted to use that, but I'm thinking, can I kill both of these enemies at the end of his turn? I don't think so. I think the situational requirement for that Crystal Overlord is just very specific. We'd have to have a scenario where, because it says if there are any enemies. And so if we were on the last enemy, that would be great, because then I could have all these blue cubes on the field for the next round. But we have 2, and I don't see how I can take them both down before the end of his turn. It just doesn't seem possible. He's only got the 1 attack that he can do, and it doesn't allow him to attack multiple targets. So we're not. I was really tempted to do that, but we're not going to do it, because I think it would get us in trouble. But it does say only remove the blue cubes. So see, here's the problem. There's already 3 blue cubes. So I do think he's going to attack the one that is not damaged. So there's one that's damaged, one that's not. He's going to attack the one that's not damaged with this ability. And please tell me if you think that ability would have worked. I would love to hear about that. But it just seems so specifically situational, and I don't think we're in a place where it would be I think we'd be raising the peril, and we're already at 13 peril out of 20. So I don't know. It seems like a very risky proposition at this moment in time. Unless I pick no blue cubes to roll in that segment. Maybe I pick all clear cubes. But when we clear the room, all those are going to go away anyway. So again, very situational. Maybe this will prove to be a really good use during the fight with the mini-boss or the fight with the wizard. We'll have to see. I haven't experienced any of that yet. The thing is, we're about to go up in experience, so I thought if we tap it now, exhaust it now, we'd be able to get it back. Okay, so we're going to just do, sorry for that, I'm trying to talk about strategy here, so if you're playing the game, you can have some strategic thoughts about it yourself. But we're going to use his Steel Fist attack, and we're going to attack the uninjured marionette that is in the front row. That means we're going to have 2 more blue dice. And I think because I could do some more healing, I think I'm going to make the other one a clear white die, or white cube, rather. I said dice, that's funny. And then we're going to, of course, add a black, red, and yellow to the pool. And we're going to go put them in the tower and see what happens. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, the red goes into the crypt. That is terrible. And 3 yellows came out. Oh, man, the marionettes are going to go and go. Okay, so we got a lot happening here. I'm going to pull this red one around here. That's 3 reds there. I mean, he's going to be able to do some damage, but we got kind of hit on this, didn't we? Wow. All right, we got another, the clear one did come out, and another black one came out. So let's take a look at how this is going to impact us. Well, if we look at the room, the first thing we're going to say is 3 red cubes. We don't have any we don't have any red monsters. So we're going to take these 3 red cubes, and they're going to get spent to create 2 more peril. That's going to put us up to 15, and not quite where we need to be to have the next event happen, but it is going to trigger. I don't think it's going to matter because we killed the riders. Okay, next up we have this one, so I'm going to leave that there. That's a red cube in the crypt. It's valued at 2. We haven't spent it yet. Now, I was taking them out and making cubes. I guess strategically you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to leave them in the crypt. I don't know. It was easier for me to remember what I was doing with those when I removed them, being that I'm playing solo and on film, but it's okay. I'm going to leave it there. All right, next up we have this. Now there's 3. Now what does that mean? Well, first off, we're going to resolve the monster. Okay, I think, wait, let me check. Let me think about that, because this could really have a big impact on our peril. Yeah, so this is going to trigger, and we're going to use all 3 of those cubes. So for 2 cubes, we're going to deal 1 wound to the party for each marionette on the floor. That's 2, so that's 2 wounds. Then remove all yellow cubes, dealing 1 wound to the party for each one removed. So there's 3. So we're going to remove all of these. These 3 are going to go off the board, and that means we're going to take 3 total damage. 1, 2, 3, and because we triggered a monster ability, we're going to go up 1 more on the peril track. That puts us at 616. Now there is an ability on the card. So you can see here it says if any riders remain on the floor, the active hero is weakened. twice by their horde magic. Well, that's not going to happen because there aren't any. They've been removed. We defeated them. And so that part is not going to trigger. So anyway, that ends the encounter from them. We've taken care of all the enemies. Now we get to do our thing. Now remember, we attacked this marionette here. He's got 5 hit points, right? So we have to try and do 5 points of damage. That's not going to be that difficult. The steel fist for 2 cubes does 3 points of damage. So we already got that. And then for an extra 2 cubes more, we do 2 more damage. So that's going to be 5 right there. So we got the 3 from this, and then 2 more for 5. So we're going to use all 4 of these blue cubes, but we're going to immediately eliminate this one. Now that's some good news for us because that puts us up an experience level. So we're going to put that back to 0. We're going to go to there, and we're going to immediately pause, and we're going to go do some things with the characters now. So good job, Knight. He caused an event that's going to help us a lot. First things first, all of these abilities that we triggered during the action are going to come back to us. So for the doctor, he's going to get his snake oil tonic back, or she rather, and her deflection stone. For the burglar, we're going to get the skulk back, which we used last turn to reduce some things. And that way we'll be able to use it again at the end of this round. When we pull treasure, we can lower the peril down, which is good. Now we're going to get some additional abilities, and I think we'll start with the Knight. So I can pick one of the first level or second level abilities for the Knight, or I can randomly get one of the third level abilities. I think that we're going up against a boss. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to shuffle these up, trying to look at them, and I'm going to draw the one from the back. I don't know, we'll see. Trying to get it at random here. Let's do this. I'm not looking. I'm looking away from the camera, hoping that you can see this. We'll see. All right, we'll cut one more time, and we'll take this one. Shield of Faith. At the start of each of your turns, you may remove 1 black cube from the field, but not the crypt. Okay, I mean, that's pretty darn powerful. And now we have all one of each level of ability up. That's a pretty good ability. That's the start of every turn, and it also gives him another shield. So now he's got 2 shields to block damage with. Which actually, I made a mistake, and I'm glad I just caught it. He has a shield from his meat shield thing, so I would have reduced, instead of being at 11 damage, we're actually at 10, I would have reduced 1 from the marionettes. Not a crisis, but could be valuable later on. Okay, now we're going to go to the doctor. So the doctor, we have these 2 abilities, they're both first level, so I think we're going to randomly take a second level ability. Let's start to beef the doctor up. See what we get. So here are the doctor's second level abilities. The reason I have to do it this way is because they're double-sided. One's for the male version, one's for the female version. They're the same cards. They don't do anything differently, but they have the different image on them. So, all right, we'll do one more cut, and then we'll draw this one. What is it? Bloodthirsty. Move 1 cube of your choice from the field to the crypt, or vice versa. That's okay. I mean, I get the value of that. And all of her extra cards are ones that get... That I don't like. All of her extra cards are ones that get tapped out. That kind of sucks. All right, now we're going to go on to the burglar. The burglar's only got 2 first level abilities, so I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to randomize a second level ability so we can get something higher level, perhaps more powerful. Though I don't believe that Bloodthirsty is particularly more powerful. Move 1 cube of your choice from the field to the crypt, or vice versa. I mean, there's some value there, but something that gets completely tapped out, that seemed rough. All right. Anyway, I've been shuffling these, not looking at them. All right. We'll cut one more. There. Let's see, what do we get? Soul Blade. Change any melee or projectile attack you make this turn into a magic attack. When you do so, the damage from that attack cannot be reduced by any means. In addition, choose a target. If your attack deals any wounds to that target, the party heals that many wounds. Now that is a more powerful ability. Even though we're going to tap it out or exhaust it when we use it, that is pretty darn powerful. So we've got those abilities there. That one's now, see, that to me seems like, oof. I mean, we do that, we get to heal, we get to do all kinds of things with that ability. And yeah, we're probably only going to get to use it once a combat, so it's pretty effective. All right, next up we have the the spell sling. Now I am going to do the same thing I did with the knight. I'm trying to get so that we can when we level up next, we'll be able to choose from anything we want. I'm going to take his 3rd level abilities, and we're going to see what he gets. Hopefully it's something truly worth it. I did not like the one from the doctor very much. And the Shield of Faith one, that's pretty good, but it's okay. All right, here we go. What do we get? Diamond Shot. Any attack you make this turn deals 3 extra wounds to one target, your choice, and its damage cannot be reduced. Again, it's all of these cards seem to be just ones we can take an action with, so we're going to augment some other ability. Now, that's pretty cool with the Cascade of Sparks or the projectile attack that he's got of Quartz Blast. We'll see, and we haven't used the Dark Pact yet, but we'll see. Man, see, this is a thing. If we have cubes in there, it says you may spend black cubes as white cubes during a turn. The party is dealt 2 wounds, though. And for each one we spend this way. So that's interesting, but we'll see how useful that is. Okay, we have officially leveled up, and now we're going to the turn of the doctor, and I do believe that the doctor is going to take this opportunity. We can't take that much more damage. We're not at a super high risk. Well, we could go up 2 more peril if we don't kill this guy. Maybe we should just get him killed and do some healing in the next turn. We still got lots of health to go, I think. So I think we'll do the, I thought she had an attack. Yeah, the Thirsty Blade. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to make a melee attack. We're going to choose a target, which is the wounded one. It's only got 2 health left. And drop these 3 blue cubes and 1 cube of our choice. We're going to deal 1 wound to your target plus 1 extra wound for every cube you spend from the field. If this kills the target, you get to heal the party 1 wound. So we're going to do that. Let's gather up the cubes for that. We're going to get 3 blue cubes in the cube of our choice. I'm going to make it clear. Do I want to make it green, start to help fuel some of the abilities? No, we'll make it clear. Because then we can, that helps both the doctor and the spell sling. And then we're going to add a black, red, and yellow to the mix. Here we go. And those are what's going to go into the tower. All right, let's see what we get. Oh no! Another red one goes into the. This is so that will bump up our peril 2 more. I don't know how I feel about that. I can stop it because I have some abilities to do that with. But let's take this here. Got 1 yellow, 1 black. We got 2 red in there that'll cause a problem. Even if I take 1 out, does it change anything? Because we have that ability of the not the Shield of Faith, but what's the other ability we got? I think it's the Bloodthirsty. Move 1 cube of your choice from the field to the crypt and vice versa. Or do I just take the risk? We're going to kill the guy. We'll just have to reduce the peril a little bit, I think. Okay, we're just going to eat it. So, and here's another. We got 2 clear. That's good. Okay, so this is going to get spent. We're going to put 1 out here because it only requires 3 on the track. So there will still be 1 out here, and then that's going to put our peril up 2. So peril management is really tough in this game. I mean, I got 2 more and I lose the game. We're not going to get there, but man, that's awfully close. And then it makes it even more risky to take our treasure. But anyway, let's finish this off. We're going to take on the last of the marionettes. So we deal 1 wound already. It says deal 1 wound to your target, plus 1 extra wound for every blue cube. We need 2, so we'll spend 1 cube there. That will give us 5, which is enough to kill the marionette. And that is going to clear the room and the monsters. That is also going to give us 2 more experience. That's good because we need more experience again this time, so I already adjusted that. And let's then go to the wrap-up of the room. We cleared the room. So the next step is we're going to go through the cleanup process. Part of that starts with drawing treasures. In this room, we get 1 treasure for that, and that's another thing that's interesting. I mean, look how hard, that room was not easy, and we're only getting 1 treasure from the room. That's pretty significant. But anyway, we're going to get rid of that and go on to getting our new treasure. Okay, well, we do have a couple of things we can do. We got burglary, which means that we can we reduce peril by 1 for opening a chest, and we can spend our skulk, which we will definitely do in this case to open the treasure chest, is use this ability before you take an action or before opening a chest to reduce the current peril by 2 and gain 1 luck. We're going to do that. So that'll give us a peril reduction of 3. That's pretty good. 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to get 1 luck, so now we have 1 luck back. But then we're going to have to draw a new treasure card. Well, assuming we get through the chest. Now, hopefully we reduced it enough where it's going to be okay. We'll see, because these are bad if they trigger. Most cases, I think. Okay, here we go. What do we get? Let's see what we get as a chest card. Oh my god, it's got a... well, here's why. It's got a peril of 1, so it just happens. This chest contains nothing except some old, unwashed laundry. Wow. So, all that work, and we didn't get anything. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Now we are going to be going to the 3rd level, so let's take a look at that. You can't see it clearly, but the hero is going around the back to level 3. Now here's the thing about level 3. So I moved the hero around, so he's up on level 3, but we're now going to take on a mini boss. So this card is going away, and we got this stack of mini boss mats right here. And I'm going to, basically there are, let me see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to shuffle them up and not looking at the shuffling. And let's see, we'll cut one more time there. We'll do that. Okay, now I'm going to look, and I'm going to draw the one from the back. What do we get? The Grim Puppeteer. Let's take a look at that one. So we go into this room. We're going to be facing the Grim Puppeteer. Now we still have to clean up the room. We haven't done that yet, but I'll do that in a second. Okay, now this is interesting. Peril cubes. We're going to drop same normal peril cubes. We're going to place 3 cadavers in the front rank and 1 black minion, the puppeteer, in the rear rank. Okay, so we got these 3 folks guarding the puppeteer. So this is kind of in theme. We had the marionettes before with the riders. So if we have 4 red cubes or 4 black cubes, if there are no cadavers on the floor, add 3 cadavers. Oh my gosh, every time that happens, wow. To the front rank. Otherwise, activate the cadaver's ability instead. So, there are cadavers, we activate the cadaver ability. We'll get them out in just a second. And if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow, the Grim Puppeteer releases a plume of spores towards you. Each hero is incapacitated and must exhaust an ability without effect if able. Peril events. So we don't have any peril events until we hit 7. At 7, we're going to deal 2 wounds to the party for each exhausted ability or item the heroes have. Oh, wow, that's terrible. And 15, the Grim Puppeteer's tendrils take root in your flesh. Add 1 cadaver to the front rank per hero. Then the heroes lose the game. Okay, so why bother doing this? I don't understand. The Puppeteer's tendrils take root in your flesh. Add 1 cadaver to the front rank per hero. Then the heroes lose the game. Why would you bother doing any of that? Just the heroes lose the game. I guess to make it look cool? I don't know. Anyway, homie has 20 health, so this is going to be pretty rough. I'm going to turn that sideways. However, 6 treasures or something like that come out of that? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, we're going to flip that around. This is the Grim Puppeteer, and I'm going to put 3 red. We've got to get the card out for the cadavers as well. We've got 3 red here and 1 bad guy right there. Let's go get the cadavers out. Okay, let's see where they are, the cadavers. There they are, the cadavers. Here's what they do. 4 red, they have 3 health, they get 1 experience point. Oh, I'm sorry, he gets 6 experience points when we defeat him. No treasure? Oh, 2 treasures, got it. Okay, that's pretty good. 4 red cubes. We're going to deal 2 wounds to the party for each cadaver on the floor. Then heal the most wounded enemy on the floor of 1 wound per cadaver on the floor. That's most likely going to be the Grim Puppeteer, right? In a tie, heal the enemy with the highest experience value. Whoosh! Ooh, this is going to be rough, guys. I don't know. This is probably where we lose. I don't know. I don't feel good about this. I don't. That's pretty terrible. Anyway, we're going to restart around the combat, but we first have to clean up the floor. So our peril track goes back down to 0. And we're going to clear all of the cubes out of the board. Right, so all of these go away, and we start fresh as we head into the room with the Grim Puppeteer. I'm going to leave this in a cliffhanger, guys. Here's where we're going to stop. The knight, the doctor, the burglar, and the spell sling have entered the room and discovered this weird alien-like creature who's got these animated cadavers blocking our way to be able to defeat it. let's see. We'll see if we can manage to kill it. That treasure pool was really bad. Getting a treasure that box that did nothing after all that work. But we did a level up, and we do have some new abilities. So we'll see how we play this out. Maybe we'll get lucky and get some experience as we go. But I don't know. I mean, these guys are only worth 1 experience, and we need to get a whole bunch to level up. So we'll see how this goes. We do have 1 luck. Maybe we'll get some more with some lucky cube drops or something like that. And we do have some pretty good abilities to mitigate what's happening out there with black cubes and that. For example, the Dark Pact of the Spell Sling, the Shield of Faith, where we get to remove 1 at the beginning of every round, and it gives us another shield. Really good. And we'll see. So we also have then the Bloodthirsty, which we can move 1 from the Crypt and back and forth. So maybe we can do some real walloping with this. We'll have to see how it plays out. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying our playthrough of the Stygian Society. I'm really digging this game. I think you guys can tell by now when I start getting hyped up about a game. I really like this one, and I hope you do too. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm really concerned about this boss. This is going to be a tough battle. We'll see if we make it through. If not, well, that'll be the end of the playthrough. If we do, we'll end up continuing on to the level 2 rooms, which I haven't even looked at. I'm trying to keep it as a surprise. All right, guys, thanks. Talk to you in the next episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. Really could use some additional oomph to the subscriber base on the channel, because there's some things I want to do. I need to hit certain subscriber levels with YouTube to be able to do them, to be able to offer you some things. And I want to be able to do that. So please help by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thanks. I'll talk to you in the next episode, and take care.